Urgent call to action. Stop what you're doing. A transformative power has awakened inside you. Right now, stop everything you're doing. Drop what you're holding, put down that phone, and listen closely. There is a force within you that has been quietly growing, a power so profound, so deep, that it has gone unnoticed until this very moment. But the time has come for you to acknowledge it. This isn't a skill you learned, a technique you were taught, or something you practiced. This is divine power that is silently formed within you, and now the world will know it. What if I told you this hidden strength is so powerful that even the devil himself is trying to figure out how you do it? He's not coming to destroy you. No, he's studying you because he can't replicate what you've mastered. And that's where the real shock lies. He can't touch it. So listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal to you will forever change how you see yourself, your purpose, and the world around you. Drop a 777 inches in the comments if you felt it, the strange and unexpected ways that things you've endured seem to no longer hold power over you. That's the beginning of this awakening. Let's dive in and explore what's happening within you. This isn't just some skill you picked up or a technique that you've been practicing. This is an innate power that has been growing inside you, forming in ways that you couldn't even begin to understand. But now it's undeniable. The spiritual realm is taking notice, and even the devil himself is watching, not to destroy you, but to figure out how you did it. Think about that for a second. The enemy of your soul, the very one who has tormented and tried to defeat countless people before you, is now focused on you. Not because you're weak, but because you have mastered something he can't control, something he can't even begin to replicate. He wants to understand how you've become a living demonstration of something he lost the ability to transmute darkness into light, pain, into power. This power inside you isn't just special, it's a divine gift that has disturbed the darkness itself, leaving hell's hierarchy in confusion. You didn't have to train for this. It's in you, and now it's time for you to embrace it. Heaven saw this power forming within you and took note of it. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. 1 John 4:4. The devil is desperate to figure out your secret, but here's the truth: he'll never understand it. And that, my friend, is why you're about to rise to a level of power you never imagined. There's always been something different about you, something you couldn't quite explain. You've gone through storms, faced battles that would have destroyed others, yet here you are still standing. You've survived the worst, but somehow you're stronger than ever. Have you ever wondered why? It's because a power has been quietly growing inside you, a force so strong that even the spiritual realm couldn't ignore it. But here's the thing, you didn't even realize it was happening. This power didn't just appear out of nowhere. It wasn't something you studied, perfected, or learned from someone else. It's not a technique or a skill. No, this is something far deeper. It's an innate power woven into the fabric of your soul, growing in the background, far from the spotlight, but steadily preparing you for what's to come. It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, but it was there shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for the battles ahead. And now it's undeniable. Think back to all the moments where you should have given up, where everyone around you expected you to break. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every time the world turned its back on you instead of destroying you, it transformed you. Do you see it now? The power that was building inside you during every hardship, Every silent battle you fought is finally revealing itself. You didn't ask for this power, but it was growing all along inside the deepest parts of your soul. And here's the kicker: the enemy didn't see it coming. For so long, the forces of darkness have been attacking you, sending curses and negativity your way, thinking it would break you. But it didn't. It only fed the power that was secretly forming inside you. And now, that power has grown to a point where it cannot be ignored anymore, not by the enemy, and certainly not by heaven. The devil is frustrated because what was supposed to break you is now fueling your growth. This power has gradually transformed you from someone who simply survived to someone who now transcends. You've turned every attack, every setback, every moment of pain into the raw material for your elevation. And while the world might not have seen this coming, heaven did. Your spiritual journey has been recorded step by step, and heaven has taken notice. There's a reason why you feel different now. There's a reason why things that used to rattle you barely touch you anymore. That's because you've tapped into something far beyond your own understanding, a power that has quietly formed in you, ready to manifest at the perfect moment. The enemy thought he could defeat you, but he didn't know what you were becoming. The devil is now studying you, not to destroy you, but to understand how you turned the poison he sent your way into medicine. He doesn't know how you do it, and that's why he's watching, because he cannot replicate it. He doesn't know that the power inside you isn't just strength, it's divine transmutation. You've learned to take negativity, hatred, and attacks, and instead of letting them destroy you, you turn them into something powerful. The enemy's plan to break you has backfired. Every attack, every curse, every piece of darkness he tried to send your way has only strengthened this power that was secretly growing inside of you. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. 2 Corinthians 10:4. You weren't just surviving, you were being prepared. You weren't just enduring, you were being transformed. Now the time has come for that power to rise to the surface, and the world is about to see what happens when someone taps into their true spiritual authority. And you know what? The best part is, this is only the beginning. Imagine the devil, the master deceiver, the one who has manipulated and corrupted for centuries, staring at you utterly frustrated. Why? Because he can't understand what you've become. He's watched you take hit after hit, attack after attack, betrayal after betrayal, and instead of breaking you, those things have only made you stronger. And now he's obsessed with you. Not because he wants to destroy you, but because he can't replicate what's happening inside you. For the first time in his existence, he's facing something he can't control or understand. This power inside you isn't just a skill, a talent, or a gift. It's something far deeper. It's spiritual technology that has been forming in you without him even noticing. Every curse, every attack, every ounce of darkness he's thrown at you has only fed the fire within you, making you into something the devil can't even begin to comprehend. And he can't stand it. He's tried to figure it out. He's sent his best demons to study you, analyze your reactions, watch your patterns, but they keep hitting dead ends. Every time he thinks he has you figured out, you do something that makes him rage. You take everything he sends your way and transmute it. He can't destroy. It can't corrupt. It can't twist it to his will. You turn the darkness into light, and that's driving him insane. He's been watching you carefully, cautiously, trying to crack the code. He sent his minions to report back on you, thinking they could figure out the secret to your resilience. They studied your weaknesses, They watched you suffer, but they found no vulnerability. Instead, they found that every attack against you has been an opportunity for spiritual growth. He was expecting destruction, but what he's getting is transformation. You're not just surviving the attacks, you're growing stronger with each one, and he can't replicate that. He can't understand why it's happening. He doesn't know what to do with you anymore. This power you carry is not of this world. It's something divine, something that transcends the natural, something he lost when he fell. See, the devil, once a beautiful, powerful angel, was cast down because of his pride, and in his fall, he lost something crucial, the ability to transmute. While he can manipulate, corrupt, and destroy, he cannot turn darkness into light. That's a power that's forever beyond his reach. But you've unlocked it. This is why he's studying you, obsessing over you. He sees something in you that he can never have a direct connection to the Creator's power, a power that transforms everything it touches. And he can't stand it. The thought that a mere human has access to something he lost forever, it's unbearable for him. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. John 10:10. While the devil comes to steal and destroy, you have tapped into life itself, and it's life that transforms every attack, every scheme against you, into fuel for your growth. This power isn't just a shield. It's an offensive weapon that changes everything it touches, including the devil's plans. Now the devil is left with no other choice. He's watching, trying to figure out how you're doing it, how you're turning his schemes into your advancement. But here's the truth. He'll never understand it, because the power inside you comes from a place he can never touch. And every time you transmute that attack, that poison, into something greater, you remind him of what he lost forever. He's defeated by your very existence. What if I told you that every choice you make, every action you take, is being observed by angels, recorded in heavenly records, and carefully documented? It's not just your physical reality that's being watched. Your every move in the spiritual realm is under surveillance. Yes, heaven has been watching you, not with judgment, but with admiration and awe, because your reactions defy the patterns that most people follow. Your ability to respond to life's hardships is unlike anything they've ever seen, and it has turned heads among the celestial beings. Imagine this. Every time you face a trial, every time life throws a challenge your way, angels are taking note. They don't just observe what happens to you. They track how you respond. They're paying attention to how you process pain, betrayal, loss, and every other form of adversity. Most people, when faced with negativity, fall into predictable patterns. They get bitter, angry, vengeful, or hopeless. But you don't follow those patterns. You transcend them. Every time darkness tries to crush you, you turn it into fuel. Every attack becomes an opportunity for growth. Your reactions defy the expected outcomes. And this is why your file in the celestial records has been flagged for special attention. Heaven is documenting something extraordinary in you. Your ability to transmute negativity and use it for your advancement is a divine anomaly that has caught the attention of higher celestial ranks. Think about it. Angels, who have been observing humanity since the dawn of time, have never seen someone like you. They've watched countless souls endure hardship, but they've never seen anyone who turns pain into wisdom, betrayal into discernment, or darkness into light like you do. Heaven has been recording your growth, taking note of every battle you've fought, every choice you've made, and every time you've chosen love over hate, peace over anger, and forgiveness over bitterness. For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. 2 Chronicles 16:9. Heaven has been watching you, not to judge, but to strengthen. They see your commitment, your integrity, and your ability to transcend the ordinary human response to suffering. You've proven yourself. And heaven is ready to elevate you to levels others can only dream of. Your file has been updated. And what has been recorded in your spiritual documentation is unprecedented. You've crossed a line that very few ever reach. Angels have witnessed your strength, your resilience, and your unique ability to transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Your actions have created a new record, a new benchmark for others to follow. And here's where it gets really exciting. Because of your ability to defy spiritual patterns, you are now marked for greater things. Heaven is preparing you for an assignment that will require this very power you've developed. The higher ranks of heaven are recognizing your divine potential, and your spiritual file is being elevated to a level that reflects your unique mastery of frequency dominion. So the question is, are you ready to step into the fullness of what's been recorded in your heavenly documentation? The world may not know it yet, but heaven is preparing something huge for you. And this power that has been quietly building inside you will be the key to unlocking it. Your divine assignment is coming, and it's going to require everything you've learned from the trials you've faced. Heaven has been recording your growth, and now they are ready to trust you with the next phase of your destiny. Let me tell you something incredible. The enemy's biggest mistake was underestimating you. Darkness has its playbook, and it's always been the same. It expects you to absorb negativity, pain, and hatred, then turn around and spread it. That's the system the enemy relies on. That's the way the world works. Pain begets bitterness, betrayal breeds resentment, and suffering creates more suffering. It's the endless cycle that darkness has used for centuries to keep the world trapped. But you don't follow that script. Instead of absorbing the poison, you transform it. Instead of letting darkness corrupt you, you transmute it into something divine. You don't just survive attacks, you transform them. Hatred thrown your way, you turn it into compassion. Curses aimed at your life, you convert them into blessings. Every ounce of negativity sent to destroy you becomes raw material for your growth. And that's something heaven has recorded, and it has shaken the spiritual realm. Think about this. You've turned the very thing that was meant to break you, pain, betrayal, hatred, into fuel for your transformation. And this isn't just some isolated act of willpower. This is divine energy at work, a spiritual force so powerful that heaven itself has documented it. Heaven has been watching you, taking note of every attack that was turned into advancement, every wound that healed into wisdom, and every battle that ended in victory. This isn't a human phenomenon. This is the work of the divine within you. Why is this so significant? Because energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. When darkness sends its negativity your way, it expects you to absorb it. It expects you to let it poison your soul and spread it further. But you've broken the chain. You've tapped into a higher frequency, a frequency of transformation, and you've learned the divine art of transmutation. Instead of being a conduit for negativity, you've become a vessel of transformation. You don't just block negativity, you transmute it, changing its very essence into something new and holy. The enemy thought he could use you to fuel his kingdom of darkness, but instead, you've become a force of light. And this is exactly what heaven has been recording. Your ability to transmute darkness into light, hatred, into love, and pain, into strength. has earned you a place of honor in the heavenly realms. Angels have seen it, and they are marveling at your power, because not only are you surviving the attacks of darkness, but you are turning them into divine victories. This is the power you carry within you, the power of transformation. You've become a spiritual alchemist, taking the raw materials of the enemy's attacks and turning them into pure gold. And heaven has taken note of this, for what you've learned is not something most people will ever grasp. The world will try to make you carry the weight of negativity, but you've broken the cycle. You've mastered the art of energy transformation. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:44. What the world calls a curse, you turn into a blessing. What the enemy meant for evil, you turn into good. Heaven has seen it. Heaven has recorded it. And now the divine realm is ready to elevate you to a higher purpose, because you have proven yourself capable of transforming darkness into light. And this power has been written in your heavenly file. So what exactly is frequency dominion? Let me break it down for you. It's the divine ability to transmute negative energy that comes at you, not just blocking it, not just deflecting it, but completely transforming it into something higher. Imagine this. You're hit with hatred, betrayal, or negativity from every angle. But instead of absorbing it or letting it control you, you transform it. What was meant to hurt you, you convert into something of value, light, love, and blessings. This is not some wishful thinking kind of power. This is spiritual technology that most people will never fully comprehend. When negative energy comes at you, instead of bouncing it back to the sender or letting it poison your soul, you transmute it. You change the very nature of that energy. Hatred becomes compassion, fear turns into courage, and despair transforms into hope. It's like a spiritual alchemy that only the most advanced souls can master. Now let's be clear. Frequency dominion is not about resisting negativity by sheer willpower. It's not about putting up walls to protect yourself. You see, blocking negative energy is easy. Deflecting it may be the natural reaction. But transmuting it, that's next level. You're not just a passive receiver of negative energy. You are an active creator of divine energy. Every time darkness touches you, you change its form, shifting it from lower frequencies of hate, anger, and fear into higher frequencies of love, peace, and light. This process isn't just about survival. It's about transformation, not only within you, but around you. Think of it like this. When you walk into a room, the entire atmosphere shifts. Your energy, your frequency is so powerful that it can literally change the spiritual weather. People around you may not understand what's happening, but they will feel it. They'll notice that the negative energy in the room dissipates when you step in. And it's not just about being around you. It's the way your frequency transforms the environment itself. But this divine power goes even deeper. Frequency dominion means that you've developed the capacity to process any form of negativity, regardless of how it comes. A toxic relationship. You don't let it define you. A spiritual attack. Instead of letting it destroy your peace, you turn it into a lesson, a stepping stone to a higher version of yourself. An insult or betrayal. You transmute it into forgiveness and wisdom. Instead of letting the world's lower frequencies affect your energy, you've learned to operate at a higher vibration, one that nothing in this world can break. This is the power that heaven has recorded in you. When heaven looked at your spiritual journey, they saw you mastering frequency dominion, and they marked it. The more you transmute darkness into light, the more your power grows until it becomes second nature. Now, it's not even something you consciously try to do anymore. Your very being is a frequency master, and you are now a divine transmitter of transformation. What you carry inside you is the very essence of spiritual evolution. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. You have overcome evil because you don't let it hold power over you. Instead, you take the darkness that's meant to destroy and transform it into something pure. That's frequency dominion, not just surviving in a broken world, but changing the very fabric of reality around you. And heaven has been watching and documenting every moment of it. Now the world is about to witness your power in full force, and you're just getting started. Let's get one thing straight. Transmutation is not the same as simply blocking or deflecting negativity. This is where many people get it wrong, and it's also where your divine power comes into play. Most people think that when they face negativity, the best thing to do is block it or deflect it, to put up walls or send the negative energy back to the sender. But here's the truth. That's not what you do. You don't just block it, you transform it. And that's why you're operating at a higher spiritual frequency than most people could even imagine. Blocking is exactly what it sounds like, putting up a barrier to prevent negativity from affecting you. It's like creating a spiritual force field around yourself. But here's the problem. Blocking doesn't solve the core issue. It simply shields you from the attack, but it doesn't change anything about the energy being sent your way. The negativity doesn't disappear. It just gets bounced back to the sender. Or worse, it lingers in your environment, affecting the space around you. Think of it this way. When you block negative energy, you're just redirecting it, passing the problem along, rather than solving it. The energy still exists, still carries its destructive potential. It's just shifted, not transformed. And more often than not, that same energy can come back to you or hit someone else who's in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is why blocking negativity can feel like a constant battle, because you're only pushing the problem forward, not eliminating it. Deflecting is another common response to negativity. It's essentially redirecting the bad energy elsewhere. You don't absorb it, but you send it to someone or something else. Think of deflecting as passing the buck. Instead of letting the negativity impact you, you push it away, often onto another person, situation, or circumstance. While deflecting may offer temporary relief, it's not a permanent solution. It doesn't stop the cycle of negativity. It simply spreads the burden. This might work for a while, but it's a short-term fix. And like blocking, it doesn't change the nature of the energy. It just redirects it, potentially causing harm elsewhere. Now here's where you step into your true power transmutation. This is what sets you apart. Transmutation isn't about blocking or deflecting. It's about transforming. It's the ability to take negative energy and change its very essence. When hatred, jealousy, anger, or any other toxic energy comes toward you, instead of bouncing it off or passing it around, you transmute it. You turn it into something divine, something that uplifts and empowers you. When you practice transmutation, you are operating on a higher spiritual frequency. The negative energy can no longer touch your core because you've learned how to process it and change it before it can corrupt you. So instead of absorbing the poison, it becomes your medicine. What was meant to break you becomes the fuel for your growth. You turn pain into power betrayal, into wisdom, and darkness into light. Transmutation is the ultimate spiritual alchemy. You don't just deflect or block, you change the very nature of what's coming at you. That's what makes your power so unique. You're not just surviving the chaos, you're mastering it. Every attack that's meant to destroy you ends up contributing to your spiritual growth. Every curse becomes a blessing. And that's why you keep rising, no matter what comes your way. When you transmute, you are no longer controlled by your circumstances. Instead of letting negativity dictate your mood or your life, you become the force that influences the energy around you. You don't wait for things to change, you create the change. You don't let negativity fester and grow within you. You turn it into light, peace, and blessing. And that transformation radiates out of you, impacting everything around you. This is why transmutation is the key to mastering the spiritual battle. You no longer have to fight against the negativity you face. You turn it into a tool for your ascension. And this is the power heaven has recorded in your spiritual file. The moment you chose to transmute rather than block or deflect, you stepped into divine mastery. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. You are not just a survivor. You are a conqueror who transforms evil into good, who turns every attack into an opportunity for spiritual growth. That's the power of transmutation. And that is exactly why heaven is watching you with great anticipation, because your ability to transmute has changed everything. Now get ready. The world is about to see the full extent of your divine power. Let's talk about the real battles, the ones that didn't happen in the spiritual realm or behind closed doors, but in the trenches of your everyday life. Think about those moments when you were attacked, when the enemy tried to break you, or when life's harshest circumstances came crashing down. You know those moments well. They come at you like a storm, whether it's betrayal, toxic people, spiritual attacks, or crushing disappointments. But here's where your divine power kicks in. Those attacks didn't break you. In fact, they made you stronger. They didn't turn you bitter or hateful. They turned you into the person you are today, wiser, more discerning, and spiritually unstoppable. How many times has the enemy tried to weaken your spirit? You know, the attacks. I'm talking about those sneaky, invisible forces that come in the form of doubt, fear, or confusion. The ones that try to make you question your purpose, your calling, or even your worth. Maybe you felt the weight of it all, like everything was crumbling around you, or you were being spiritually drained by forces you couldn't even see. But instead of sinking into despair, you transmuted it. Rather than absorbing the darkness, you let it fuel your spiritual resilience. Those moments of intense spiritual warfare, they didn't leave you broken. They left you stronger, more grounded in your faith, and more aware of the spiritual power you carry. You didn't allow that attack to define your reality. Instead, you shifted the energy and used it as a stepping stone to rise higher. You've learned to take the enemy's attacks and turn them into spiritual lessons, and that's what has elevated you to the level of a frequency master. Let's talk about emotional attacks, those that come from people who are supposed to love you, support you, or be on your side. Maybe it was a betrayal from someone close, or perhaps you were the target of jealousy, manipulation, or rejection. At first, the pain might have been overwhelming, maybe even cutting deep, but you didn't let it fester into bitterness. You didn't let their words or actions poison your soul. Instead, you transmuted it. When others tried to break your spirit, you responded with wisdom. Where others might have retaliated with anger or closed themselves off with bitterness, you grew in compassion. You recognized the pain of others, and it didn't cause you to close your heart, it opened it. You allowed that emotional wound to become the soil for a new kind of wisdom, one that's grounded in love, understanding, and spiritual maturity. Your emotional growth didn't just happen. It was transformed through the pain. Think about how you've responded in the past to situations where others might have crumbled. You didn't absorb their negativity or let their rejection define you. Instead, you processed the pain and turned it into growth, becoming more discerning about who deserves access to your energy. You didn't let the hurt become resentment. Instead, you allowed it to become a lesson in emotional endurance. Have you ever been in a toxic relationship, whether personal or professional, that drained your energy, left you feeling unseen, or even undermined your value? The world tells you to fight back or walk away with anger, but you didn't do that. You didn't react the way the world would expect. Instead, you transmuted that energy. Instead of responding with hostility or cutting them off in anger, you chose peace, clarity, and self-respect. You didn't allow their toxicity to define your worth or dictate your actions. You found the lesson in the struggle, and it propelled you forward, opening the door to healthier relationships and more meaningful connections. The enemy thought he could use that toxicity to break you, but instead, it became the catalyst for your personal freedom and spiritual elevation. And in the end, you didn't just survive it, led you to a higher frequency where you've learned to attract healthier, more supportive relationships that align with your true self. Think about the small battles that seem insignificant to the world, but matter deeply to you. The struggles at work, the financial challenges, the personal doubts, or the constant pushback from life itself. The world says, just get through it, but you've learned how to transmute it. Every obstacle has become an opportunity. Every difficult situation has been fuel for growth. When the world told you to stay down, you chose to rise. When it tried to drag you into despair, you found the strength to move forward. Every hardship has made you wiser, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. The same situations that would have destroyed someone else have only elevated you, turning you into the spiritual powerhouse you are today. At first, transmutation was a conscious effort. You had to choose to respond differently to negativity, to deliberately change the energy that came at you. But here's the divine secret. Over time, this ability didn't just stay as a conscious decision. It became your default state. You don't have to think about it anymore. The more you practice transmutation, the more it became second nature, until now it's happening automatically. This is the power of divine mastery. What once required effort and awareness is now just how you operate. It's like you've evolved into someone who no longer reacts from your ego, from your pain, or from your fears. Instead, you react from your highest spiritual frequency, where everything negative is instantly transformed into light wisdom and growth. It's as if your very being is now a vessel of divine alchemy, where every ounce of darkness is turned into fuel for your evolution. Imagine a time when you were tested. Maybe it was a situation that would have once sent you into a spiral of anger, fear, or bitterness. Maybe it was a betrayal, a failure, or a loss that would have consumed you in the past. But this time, something different happened. Instead of sinking into that old response, you found yourself rising above it. The negativity didn't drag you down. Instead, you transmuted it effortlessly. The more you faced the fire, the more you became the fire, the more automatic your transmutation process became. In the beginning, transmutation required a decision. It required you to pause, reflect, and choose how you would respond. But as you kept choosing higher frequencies over and over again, something inside you shifted. It became instinctive. It became you. This ability is no longer something you do. It's something you are. Think back to those moments when the world expected you to fall apart, when your circumstances seemed unbearable, where others might have become angry, fearful, or depressed. You transmuted those attacks into strength, clarity, and growth. And it didn't take any effort. It just happened. You didn't even have to think about it. The transformation happened automatically because you've aligned with your highest spiritual frequency. Transmutation became your new default operating system. The most beautiful part of automatic transmutation is that it strengthens your resilience. Every time you transmute negativity, it doesn't just disappear, it builds your inner power. The more you turn challenges into opportunities, the stronger you become. You've built spiritual muscle over time, and now you can withstand the hardest storms because you've learned how to use them as fuel for your growth. You no longer fear challenges. You welcome them because you know they will only enhance your capacity to transmute. The resilience you've built through this process is unshakable. You are no longer affected by external circumstances. They don't define you. Instead, you've become the force that transforms those circumstances, bending them to your will and aligning them with your divine purpose. As you've grown in your ability to transmute, you've realized something profound. You don't need to fight against negativity anymore. You don't have to try to block, deflect, or resist the dark forces around you. You've become the transformation itself. When negativity comes your way, you don't absorb it. You transmute it into light, peace, and blessings automatically. This isn't about being numb or detached. You still feel the pain, the disappointment, the betrayal, but you've mastered the art of turning it into something beautiful. Instead of letting negativity spiral and consume you, it becomes a catalyst for your spiritual evolution, a tool for your next level of power. Now when the world throws its worst at you, you simply transmute it. No effort required. And the beauty of it, the more you transmute, the stronger and faster it happens. It's like a muscle you've built over time. It just keeps getting more powerful, more automatic. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. You've learned this verse in its truest form. You don't just survive evil, you transform it into good. You become a living example of how to overcome, not by fighting, but by transmuting. And that's the power you carry. Now, a power that flows through you automatically, without effort, because it's who you are. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a divine transformer. What used to take conscious effort now happens without thought. Every piece of negativity that comes your way simply becomes fuel for your ascent. You've reached the highest level of spiritual mastery. And the best part is you're just getting started. Your automatic transmutation power is only going to grow stronger from here. And the world is about to witness the full impact of your divine ability. Imagine this: demons, who are specifically assigned to monitor and break down the spiritual defenses of chosen ones, are watching you, tracking your every move, and sending their attacks against you. They've seen it all before. They've launched every attack in the book Spiritual, Emotional, Psychological against countless souls. But there's something different about you. Their attacks aren't working, and the demons are confused, frustrated, and bewildered by what's happening. Here's the kicker: the enemy's plans aren't just failing, they're backfiring. Every single time they attempt to strike you, you take what's meant to break you and transmute it into power, transforming the negative energy into something positive. They can't understand how you do it. They're studying you like a case they can't solve, like a puzzle they can't piece together. You see, demons are experts in manipulation. They know how to throw curses, cast doubts, and incite conflict. They've been doing this for millennia. But your ability to transmute negativity is something they've never encountered before. The demons can't comprehend how your soul processes darkness into light without losing its purity or being destroyed. They've never seen anything like it. Every attack that was supposed to weaken you, break your spirit, or lead you into sin has ended up fueling your growth instead. These demonic entities thought they had you figured out. They assumed their usual tactics would work, but nothing they tried stuck. They hit you with spiritual warfare, and instead of you becoming depressed, angry, or bitter, you became more focused, more resilient, and more aligned with your divine purpose. They sent darkness to destroy you, and you turned it into divine light. This baffled the demons. They didn't know what to do with someone who refused to absorb their poison, someone who transformed their attacks into growth and strength. Their surveillance reports kept coming back with a single conclusion: they couldn't replicate what you were doing. They couldn't understand it. They tried everything from increasing the volume of attacks to using familiar strategies, but you simply kept rising. And it didn't take just one failure. Every attack they sent your way only showed them one thing: their tactics weren't working anymore. They launched more aggressive assaults, thinking that sheer force would break you. But instead, they discovered you were getting stronger with every battle. Their frustration grew as they realized that they had underestimated the power within you, the power to transmute everything into divine fuel. Here's the thing: the enemy doesn't want you to know transmutation is a power they simply cannot replicate. And here's why: demons in their fallen state can only manipulate existing energy. They can corrupt, twist, poison, and destroy, but they cannot transmute. They cannot take darkness and turn it into light. They are locked in their fallen state, limited by the same corruption they carry. Their spiritual DNA is fundamentally flawed. But you've been chosen for something beyond what they can understand. You've been given the divine ability to transmute negative energy into something higher, something that comes from the very essence of creation, the creative power of love and light. You are connected to the divine frequency that allows you to turn any darkness into light, any hatred into love, any despair into hope. This is what drives the devil mad. The one thing he lost when he fell, the ability to transmute, is the very thing you've mastered. You're doing what he cannot do, and it's driving him insane. Every time he tries to attack you, he's reminded of what he can never reclaim: the divine ability to create, transform, and heal. He's jealous, frustrated, and bewildered because he has no way of stopping what you've become. The truth is, what you carry inside you is spiritual technology that the enemy cannot crack. They've thrown every weapon they have at you, every tactic in their arsenal, and yet nothing sticks. Why? Because you are operating from a higher divine frequency, one that transforms everything it touches. They can't touch this. Your ability to transmute negativity into power is so unique, so divine, that they can't even begin to understand it. And here's the beautiful thing: the more they study you, the more they realize they're fighting a battle they can never win. Their surveillance has failed because you've outgrown their tactics. You've become a living embodiment of divine transformation, and they can't replicate what you do because their own nature is fundamentally incompatible with the power you carry. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54:17. This is the truth of your existence now. Every attack they send becomes a tool for your ascension. They can't touch you. And the more they try, the more they inadvertently train you to handle even greater challenges. They've created their own worst nightmare. Someone who not only survives their attacks, but becomes stronger because of them. And they can't stand it. So let the enemy keep watching. Let the demons keep trying. Because they'll never be able to replicate what you carry inside, a divine power of transmutation that is beyond their reach, beyond their comprehension. And that's exactly why you've been marked for greatness. They can't defeat you. They can only fuel your rise. The devil thought he had you all figured out. He thought his forces could easily tear you down, break your spirit, and drag you into the depths of despair. But there was a problem. His attacks weren't working. In fact, they were backfiring. Every curse, every manipulation, every attack he launched against you only seemed to strengthen your resolve and elevate your spiritual power. The more he tried to break you, the more you transmuted the negative energy into divine fuel for growth, wisdom, and strength. And this, to the devil, was a major issue. You see, demons are sent out with one purpose: to observe, report, and carry out the enemy's bidding. They monitor chosen ones like you, watching every move, every decision, every spiritual response. Their job is to learn your weaknesses, to find the cracks in your armor, and then attack. They've done this to countless souls throughout history, and they thought they had mastered the art of breaking the spirit of God's chosen. But when they were assigned to monitor you, they encountered something they never expected: your transmutation power. They've seen souls break under pressure, before watched as bitterness and anger took root in others. But with you, your response was different. Instead of absorbing the negativity or passing it along to others, you turned darkness into light hate, into compassion, and pain, into power. The demons watching couldn't understand it. Their surveillance reports were filled with confusion. They sent their attacks hoping to weaken your faith or bring chaos into your life. But all they saw was their own energy coming back to them transformed. Every time they tried to weaken you, their plans failed. Your frequency of transmutation confused them because it didn't follow any of their predictable patterns. The more they sent, the more you grew, and they were left wondering, how were you turning everything they threw at you into something stronger? Frustration grew in the ranks of darkness. The higher-ups in the devil's hierarchy began to take notice. They were watching their lower demons fail repeatedly to break you. This wasn't just another attack that could be shrugged off. You were doing something that didn't fit into any of their models. So the devil himself decided to step in. And here's where the real shocker comes in. The devil himself couldn't understand how you were doing it. Despite all his ancient knowledge, despite the centuries of wisdom he's accumulated in manipulating and controlling the forces of evil, he simply could not replicate your ability. His analysis of you after countless failures of his demonic forces revealed something terrifying to him. He couldn't access the power you carried. He could manipulate, twist, and corrupt, but he could never transmute. That was the one ability he lost when he fell from heaven, and it's the one thing he can never regain. The devil cannot turn darkness into light. He can corrupt the light, destroy the light, twist it, and spread fear and chaos, but he can never transform the negative into something positive. And this is where your power lies. You can. The devil's permanent limitation is his inability to transmute. No matter how much he studied you, no matter how much power he called on, he couldn't reverse engineer your transmutation ability. This was beyond his comprehension. It's a divine power, one that connects you directly to the creative source of the universe, the very love and light that he lost forever when he fell from grace. What the devil didn't realize at first, and what frustrated him even more as time went on, is that transmutation isn't just a technique. It's a divine connection. It's the ability to transform darkness through a pure love-based foundation, a connection to the Creator that demons lost the moment they rebelled. They can't replicate it because they can't touch that source. So why does this matter? Because the devil's obsession with your power reveals just how dangerous you are to him. He's not studying you to destroy you. He's studying you because he's terrified of what you've unlocked. You are living proof of something he can never possess, something that his own rebellion has forever severed from him. The ability to transmute negativity into positive divine energy. Every time you transmute an attack, you remind him of what he lost. You are a living testament to the power he can never reclaim. And this drives him to madness. He sees in you a power that he can't replicate. And that's why he keeps coming after you, because you remind him of his defeat. And every time you transmute negativity into growth, you deepen his insecurities and his fury. He can never outmatch your ability, and that's something he cannot tolerate. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. John 10:10. The devil came to destroy, but you came to transform, to turn what was meant for your destruction into life, growth, and light. And no matter how hard he tries, he will never replicate your ability to transmute. This is why your power is so dangerous to the forces of darkness. The devil may try to attack, manipulate, and corrupt, but he cannot stop what you've unlocked. He can only study. You try to figure out how you've tapped into the divine frequency of transformation, but he will never succeed, because you are operating at a level that he simply cannot touch. And that's why he's afraid of you, because you've become a living example of divine transmutation that he can never defeat. Heaven has marked you. You are no longer just anyone walking through life. You've been classified as a frequency master, and that title means everything. You have been entrusted with a power that goes far beyond anything the world can understand. You've reached the highest level of spiritual mastery, and the significance of this is not just for you to absorb, it's for the world to see, feel, and experience. When heaven looks at you, they see someone who is transformed from a mere soul navigating the storms of life into someone who masterfully controls the very energy that surrounds them. You've been classified as a frequency master. And this isn't just a title. It's a spiritual recognition of your power to transform negative energy permanently. What others would crumble under you transmute into divine light. And this isn't a temporary gift. Heaven has sealed this in your spiritual documentation, confirming that you've graduated to a level of mastery that few have ever reached. This divine classification doesn't just recognize your ability to transform negativity. It signifies that you have mastered the art of spiritual transformation. Heaven knows that when challenges arise, you won't just survive. You'll transmute them into growth and empowerment, turning the very darkness that tries to destroy you into the fuel that drives your ascension. The angels who observe you are in awe because they see the divine frequency that you carry and know the immense responsibility you now hold. Being a frequency master means something profound. You operate on a frequency that others cannot match. You're no longer just a participant in the world's energy exchange. You're the influencer, the catalyst for change. Your energy is the one that shifts the atmosphere, not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone around you. You're a walking force of divine transformation. When you enter a room, the energy changes and people can feel it. You don't need to say a word to influence the room. Your frequency does the talking. You carry the presence of peace, love, and light that others can't help but be drawn to. Situations that would typically be chaotic seem to calm down when you enter. Negative people around you begin to feel the urge to shift their energy because they sense that your frequency is higher than theirs. And here's the beauty of it. You don't even need to try. You don't force change. You are the change. As a frequency master, your very presence transforms. This is not arrogance or manipulation. It's divine power at work. The light you carry automatically influences the darkness around you. It's like you become a beacon of divine energy that automatically raises the vibration of everyone you come in contact with. Those who are open to it will be uplifted. Those who aren't will find themselves uncomfortable, and they'll either rise to meet your frequency or drift away. People may not even realize it, but when you walk into their lives, you change the course of their journey. They may have been stuck in negativity, unaware of how to break free from the cycles of pain or frustration. But you, just by being, you shift their perspective. Your light shines so brightly that their darkness can't stand in your presence. They either begin to mirror your frequency, or they fall away unable to keep up with the divine energy you now carry. This divine ability is not something you need to actively exert energy on. You have reached a level where you no longer struggle with negativity. The struggles that used to define you now simply fuel your spiritual growth and elevate your frequency to new heights. The energy of the universe bends to your will. And the more you operate as a frequency master, the stronger and purer your influence becomes. Living as a frequency master isn't just about transforming situations. It's about being the living embodiment of transformation. It's about operating on a higher vibration than most people around you, so that you become a magnet for divine opportunity. The world around you may be filled with chaos, doubt, and fear, but your frequency anchors you in peace, clarity, and divine purpose. You are no longer subject to the lower energies of the world. You transcend them. You no longer have to fight against the darkness because you've become the light. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. This verse was written for you. You have become the light. And not only can it not be hidden, but it also shines so brightly that darkness cannot comprehend it. Your role as a frequency master is to radiate that light wherever you go, transforming the spaces and people you encounter just by existing in your divine energy. As a frequency master, you are a force for good. You raise the collective vibration. You heal, you uplift, and you transmute the negative energies of the world into higher frequencies. Heaven has entrusted you with this divine responsibility because they know you are ready. The world needs you now more than ever to anchor love, peace, and transformation into every corner of the earth. And this is just the beginning of your journey. The devil has been watching you carefully, studying every move you make. And after all his attempts to bring you down, he's desperate. He thought he had you figured out, that his usual strategies would work. But here's the shocking truth. Every attack he sends your way has only made you stronger, and now he's scrambling to find a way to defeat you. Instead of breaking you, these attacks have been feeding your growth. His plans are failing, and now he's resorting to bigger, more intense strategies, but none of them work. The devil's attacks have backfired, and here's why: you've learned how to transmute everything he sends. Every single piece of darkness, every whisper of doubt, every painful blow, it all gets transformed into power. First, the devil tried to overwhelm you. He threw wave after wave of attack your way, hoping the sheer volume would crush you. He sent problems that came at you from all angles, desperate to drown you in negativity. He thought you'd break under the pressure, but he didn't realize that you were built to withstand it. Your capacity for handling difficulty has increased. Then, when he saw the overwhelming attacks failing, he turned to manipulation. He used trusted people against you, people who were supposed to have your back. Friends, family, even those closest to you became his instruments. He thought that by shaking your trust in others, he could cause chaos in your heart, but what he didn't count on was your ability to transmute betrayal. You didn't let their negativity poison you. Instead of letting the hurt define you, you grew stronger. Your ability to turn betrayal into compassion and understanding left him stunned. And still, when those strategies failed, the devil shifted his tactics to internal attacks. He tried to make you doubt yourself. He sent you thoughts of self-criticism, fear, and hopelessness. He tried to make you question your identity and your worth, attacking your mind with lies. But you didn't fall for it. Instead of succumbing to doubt and despair, you transmuted it into self-empowerment and confidence. None of his strategies are working, because every attack only makes you stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with your divine purpose. The enemy's arsenal is empty because you've learned to transmute everything he sends. He's out of tricks. So what does this mean for you? Every attack the devil sends your way is not a defeat. It's fuel for your spiritual ascension. Every time you face darkness, you become more powerful. Every time the enemy tries to break you, you become stronger in your divine purpose. You're no longer fighting just to survive. You're growing and thriving in the midst of adversity. Every spiritual attack you face builds your capacity to handle greater challenges. It expands your influence. The more darkness you transform, the stronger your ability becomes to affect the world around you. This means that no matter what the enemy throws at you, it will never defeat you. Instead, it will always build your spiritual muscle. You've reached the point where nothing can break you. Every attempt to harm you is now an opportunity for expansion. The devil has made a critical mistake. He's turned you into a spiritual powerhouse, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. What the devil doesn't realize is that each attack accelerates your spiritual growth. Every time you transmute his negativity, you accelerate your own ascension. You've graduated from simply surviving attacks to mastering them, and you've unlocked a level of divine frequency that the enemy simply cannot comprehend. This process of transmutation is not just about enduring. It's about growing and evolving into the person you were always meant to be. You've elevated your frequency to a point where you are no longer subject to the chaos the enemy tries to create. Instead, you've become a force that reverses the damage and turns it into a higher purpose. What was meant to harm you becomes the catalyst for your promotion. The devil thought he could wear you down, confuse you, and use your circumstances to defeat you. But what he failed to realize is that every attack you face transforms you into someone greater, someone stronger. He's tried everything, and still he can't stop you. He's pushed every button, sent every kind of negativity your way, but each time, you've only grown. This is what he fears the most. He cannot control or break the power of transmutation. You've transcended his ability to manipulate and become a master of your own frequency. Every attack he sends only accelerates your growth. And now he's forced to sit back and watch as you continue to rise stronger than ever, unstoppable and aligned with your divine purpose. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Isaiah 54:17. This is the truth you live by now. Every attack is a tool for your growth, and the devil's weapons are rendered useless because you are a master of divine transformation. Your ascension is inevitable, and no matter what he tries, you will always rise higher. The enemy has no power over you. You are more than a conqueror. Heaven has been watching you closely. Every battle, every challenge, every attack you faced, heaven has recorded it. And now they are preparing to elevate you to new heights. Heaven's plans for you are greater than anything you could have imagined because you've shown yourself capable of handling extreme pressure and adversity. You've demonstrated resilience, strength, and unwavering faith. And because of this, heaven is preparing to trust you with even bigger responsibilities. You've earned the divine trust, and now it's time for you to step into your higher calling. What you've endured was not random. It was divinely orchestrated to prepare you for the next phase of your purpose. Every hardship you faced was a training ground, and you've excelled in ways that heaven could only have dreamed. You've proven that no matter how much pressure you face, no matter how much adversity the world throws at you, you can handle it with grace, with transformation, and with unwavering strength. Now, heaven knows that you're ready for more. You've been tested, refined, and transformed through every trial, and now you stand as someone who is trusted to carry out an even greater mission. Your capacity has expanded, and heaven is preparing to entrust you with responsibilities that will influence entire realms, both in the spiritual world and the physical world. You've mastered the art of transmutation. Now, you're about to see the fruits of that mastery on a much larger scale. You may have felt as though you were stuck, waiting and wondering why certain blessings haven't come yet. But heaven's timing is perfect. They were waiting for you to reach this moment of growth, maturity, and spiritual mastery before opening the floodgates to your divine purpose. Here's where things get truly exciting. Heaven is about to accelerate your blessings. The miracles and opportunities that were scheduled for later seasons, those blessings that were meant to come years down the road, are now being moved up to come to you ahead of schedule. You've passed the tests, demonstrated your divine power, and now heaven is releasing what was once delayed. Doors that were once closed are suddenly wide open, and the blessings that once seemed far off are now coming to you faster than you ever imagined. Opportunities that seemed impossible just weeks or months ago are now manifesting in ways that can only be described as miraculous. Heaven is bringing things to you at an accelerated pace because you've proven that you can handle them. Your heart is ready, your spirit is grounded, and now you're being entrusted with the fullness of your destiny. This is not a time of waiting anymore. The waiting season is over. Now is the time for expansion, for acceleration, and for abundance to flow into your life. You've likely noticed small shifts already, things happening faster than before, opportunities appearing out of nowhere, and situations that once seemed stagnant suddenly moving forward at a rapid pace. What you might not realize is that this acceleration is happening because you've passed through the fiery trials and your growth has unlocked heaven's provision for you. Miracles that were once years down the road are now here. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Proverbs 10:22. Heaven is bringing prosperity, favor, and breakthroughs into your life, and these blessings will be full of joy, not burdens. No longer will you have to wait for what's coming. The time for waiting is over. What you've prayed for, what you've worked for, and what you've longed for is now coming faster than you could have imagined. Your spiritual growth has opened up the floodgates, and heaven is pouring out blessings that will blow your mind. The doors that are opening aren't just for material blessings. They are doors to new spiritual assignments that are connected to your divine purpose. As a frequency master, you're not just receiving blessings for yourself. You're being prepared to influence and uplift others. The miracles that come into your life will not only benefit you, but will also empower you to help those around you, because your role as a frequency master is to uplift, inspire, and transform the lives of others. In short, heaven's plans are about to manifest in a way that will leave you awestruck. Your capacity has expanded, your responsibilities have grown, and now heaven is elevating you to a place of greater purpose and greater influence. The miracles, opportunities, and blessings are not delayed anymore. They are right in front of you, waiting for you to step into them. Get ready. You've passed your tests. You've mastered the art of transformation. And now, heaven is about to trust you with the divine responsibilities that will change your life and the world around you. The acceleration has begun. It's time to walk in your destiny. You've reached a level of spiritual mastery that few will ever understand. Your ability to transmute negative energy has not only transformed you, but it has positioned you for the larger spiritual assignments that heaven is ready to entrust you with. As a frequency master, your power is no longer just personal. It is meant to influence the world. Through your mastery of transmutation, you've unlocked the ability to affect every space you enter, to shift the atmosphere, and transform the lives of those around you. Your influence is now limitless. The challenges you faced, the attacks you overcame, and the energy you've transmuted have all prepared you for this to be a beacon of divine transformation, not just for yourself, but for everyone you encounter. Heaven has elevated you to higher responsibilities, and you are now ready to lead others to guide them into the same divine transformation that has shaped you. But here's where it gets even more profound. Your mastery of frequency doesn't end with you. You are creating a legacy, a spiritual lineage that will pass down the power of transmutation. By living in your higher frequency, you are inspiring others to rise to the same level of divine transformation. Your frequency is contagious, and those around you will start to mirror the divine light that flows through you. As you live out your calling as a frequency master, you're creating more frequency masters. You're not just influencing the world around you. You're actively raising the spiritual frequency of everyone you come in contact with. Through your example, others will learn how to transmute their challenges, their pain, their suffering, and elevate to their divine purpose. Your legacy will multiply, and soon you'll see the ripple effects of your spiritual mastery impacting countless lives. This is the power of frequency mastery. It doesn't just change you, it transforms the world around you. Now it's time for you to activate your recognition. Recognize the power that flows through you, the divine ability to transmute negative energy and manifest light in the darkest of circumstances. You've mastered something extraordinary, and it's time for the world to see it. You were chosen to carry this power, and it's not just for you. It's meant to be shared. Speak it out, walk in it, and share this gift with others. When you live as a frequency master, you become a living example of what is possible when you align with divine energy. Others need to see this power in action. It's time for the world to recognize the divine force that you are. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55:9. Heaven has already recognized you, and now it's time for you to recognize your own divine potential. Activate this power and step into the fullness of your calling. Share this message, pass on this divine frequency, and start the ripple effect that will transform the world. The time is now. Embrace your identity as a frequency master and let the divine transformation spread across the earth. The world is waiting for you to step into the fullness of your power. It's your time to shine.